this fatwa which I have issued now is not the first step which I have taken on this direction. I wrote a voluminous book on human rights soon after 9/11, which described and elaborated the same concept at that time.
So does that
mean, was published.
Does that mean people aren't listening, that you need to keep writing it? What makes this one different, if it is different than the others?
But this time I took the decision to write a fatwa as a jurisprudential ruling which should include and which has included hundreds of authorities and evidences from Quran and from traditions of Holy Prophet and classical authorities of Islamic history in order to explain that any good intention or any mistake of foreign policy of any country or any pretext cannot legalize the act of terrorism. And terrorism and violence cannot be considered to be permissible in Islam on basis of any excuse.
Okay.
So I have a step here.
Well, you've made that very clear, but who do you think is going to listen? Is it the committed extremist, the committed suicide bomber? In other words, some are complaining that your fatwa is only going to reach like-minded Muslims such as yourself and not the people who need to hear this.
No, this is not the case. I would divide these people whom I have addressed or those who this fatwa is going to reach into three categories. I would exclude just a very little number of those radicals who have already been brainwashed and they are not ready to listen any reasoning. But hundreds of thousands of youth who are on the path, who have potential to be radicalized, but they have not yet reached the stage of being brainwashed, they are going to listen to this fatwa. This fatwa is going to change their mind. And then millions of other youth of Muslim Ummah, they can be reached by the extremist, they can be misguided by the wrong interpretations of Islam, they can be put on the wrong track by putting the wrong concept of jihad in their minds, wrong concept of shahada in their minds. Although they are not radicals and they are not suicide bombers now, but they can be misguided in future. So this fatwa is going to change their mind by clarifying the concept.